the category now is my favorite new releases from Criterion in 2018. Now, this means a release that was made that was not a previous DVD, that was not a previous Laserdisc. This is a brand new release in the Criterion collection. And there have been quite a few this year, and there have been many great ones. And so it was very difficult, truly very difficult to narrow down to a top 5. And again, this is very subjective, as all these other videos have been. So if you disagree or if you have a different number 1, don't worry at all. Please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear what you have to say about this and your choices. So, but this is my selection. So again, it's just me, and I am no critic. I am no Criterion expert. So it's just me and my own thoughts and feelings. So without further ado, let me show you my top 5 favorite new releases for Criterion in 2018. Number 5 is spine number 926, Manila in the Claws of Light, Lino Brocca. Remember that name, Lino Brocca, because this is a dynamite film. It is explosive, and it is so charged with anger and energy and vitality and excitement. A truly remarkable work. Now, I saw this for the first time in this Criterion Collection release, and boy, oh boy, was I stunned. I was numb by the end of the showing, and I still haven't forgotten about it. It is a truly epic film in many respects. Manila in the Claws of Light. I urge you to watch this film if you haven't already, because it is unforgettable. It is unforgettable. And if you are not kind of agitated, and if you are not alert by the end of the film, I don't know what else to say, but this is something. This is truly just like a dynamite, a firecracker. It's just seething with energy and heat and volatility. Manila in the Claws of Light. Please watch this. My number 5 favorite new release. Number 4. This is spine number 929. John Waters, Female Trouble. I have a confession to make, but perhaps you knew this already. I don't know. I adore John Waters films. I adore Divine. And while not all John Waters films work for me completely, I admit. For instance, I love Pink Flamingos, but there are some moments that don't quite work for me. I love Multiple Maniacs so much, but there are some moments that are a little bit... This one, I love this film. From beginning to end, I love this film. I love what it's trying to do. I love how it's trying to shock you. I love how it's trying to make you laugh. I love how it's trying to just, what's the phrase? F everything all up. Right? It's just trying to F everything up. And it does so and then some. Divine is so divine here. What a great acting performance, or performances, shall I say. Rivaling Peter Sellers in Dr. Strangelove. You thought Peter Sellers was good in Dr. Strangelove in all of his performances? Wait till you get a load of Divine in this film. Divine does something here that is epic, that is historic, that I don't think I've ever seen in any other film. And that is the mark of great cinema. When you see something and it's just unbelievable. You can't believe what's going on. And at the same time, It is a tender story. It is so tender. Dawn Davenport is one of those great characters. You care about what happens to Dawn Davenport, and then the arc of that character is just like something out of a comic book or Shakespeare or something in between, perhaps. But there is something magical going on here, and it is berserk, bonkers magical. That is Female Trouble, and it is I think, a comic masterpiece from John Waters. My number 4 favorite new release, Female Trouble. My number 3 favorite new release, number 909, Night of the Living Dead. This is the classic horror film by, what's his name, the filmmaker? His name escapes me. Of course, yes, George A. Romero. And George A. Romero does something here. It's not just a horror film. This is a film about America. This is a film about the environment of America and the relationship among certain groups in America and how they interact under pressure, and how they interact when one has a gun and one doesn't, how they interact when there is certain issues between men and women. This has so much thought to it. There is an intelligence behind it. And at the same time, it is such a B movie. There is campy acting. There is kind of odd, stilted dialogue in places. But that adds to the overall effect. Because what that does is it puts you off guard. I look at this film and I see a B movie. Part of me says, oh, this is just a B movie. But that's the trick of the film. It tricks you. It lulls you into a false sense of security, because once it has you, it will just suddenly turn on you like a vicious lion and just attack you. And then it shocks you. And then once you are in its clutches, it just goes for the jugular in its climax. That is Night of the Living Dead, and it is a superb example of just top-notch cinema that shocks, that leaves you stunned, that will make you think, and that will leave you a changed person from who you were at the start. That is a sign of great cinema. So that is Night of the Living Dead. Very important film in the context of American cinema. My number 3 favorite new Criterion release for 2018. Number 2 is Spine number 942. This is The Tree of Life, Terrence Malick's epic. This is a film that is grand in scope and so minute in its intimacy. This is a film that is poetic at the same time as it is harsh. It is a film that is of many tones, but it is also universal. It is a film that is swimming with beautiful imagery, and yet it haunts you with something that is dark and not spoken. There is stuff that is up front. There is stuff that is behind the scenes, so to speak. There is magic in the camera, and yet there is also haunting sadness as well. Everything is on the table in this great film, and that everything is so emblematic of what we call life and the experience of living. It is set in America, it is set in sort of Americana, but I think it can be understood by many people. It can be appreciated by many people. It has a way of reaching your heart, and it has a way of making you struggle. It has a way of making you question things. And then at the same time, it leaves you breathless and it leaves you feeling like something miraculous has just occurred. The Tree of Life, whether it's the theatrical version or whether it's the new extended version, I think either version is fine for you to watch, because it is all the same landscape that Terrence Malick creates. The Tree of Life, one of the great modern day examples of American cinema. And it is a miraculous release from the Criterion collection. My number 2 favorite new release. That leaves my number 1 favorite release, new release from Criterion in 2018. Spine number 927, El Sur. El Sur is my favorite release, new release from Criterion. And this is a film that is so emotionally powerful because it goes at the heart of something that, for me personally, is so heartbreaking and so beautiful and difficult to watch at the same time. And it goes really to the heart of my own feelings about my own family and my own relationships. And it's essentially about the relationship between a father and his daughter. That is one of the core relationships that is so important. And it strikes me so fundamentally. It's so acute in its attack. And it gets me every single time in a way that it's hard for me to recover, because it is so emotionally impactful upon my own life. And on that note, I find it to be, on the one hand, incredibly scary to watch because it leaves me so raw. And there are so many mixed emotions that swirl in my head every time I finish watching this film. And I'm sometimes afraid to confront that. At the same time, there is an overwhelming sense of greatness, that you're watching something that is magnificent, that is something beyond the simple act of putting a disc in a Blu-ray player. This is something that is beyond that. This is the power of cinema. This is the power of cinema to enable us to connect on a core emotional level with a group of people that are otherwise so foreign to us. How can I connect with these people? I don't even live in the same country. I don't know what their historical background is. And yet there is something truly, remarkably close. And that's the power of this film, I think, for me. It's that it's so close. And it's so close because of the basis that is established by virtue of the fact that we are focusing on this lovely relationship between father and daughter. El Sur is my favorite new release from Criterion in 2018, by far. Okay, my friends, we're almost finished. I have one more video to go, and that's it. So I will see you at the next one. In the meantime, if you have any questions or comments about your own favorite releases, new releases from Criterion in 2018, please let me know in the comments section below. I would love to hear what your favorites are. Otherwise, I will see you at the next video. So see you very soon.